Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel here at Gardening at the Simongetti North. My name is Chris if we haven't met, and I'm happy to meet you. And if you're coming back, I'm glad you're here. In today's video, I'm bringing another dehydrating video, and I'm going to show you how to make pear chips. I got these pears from my tree. I still had a couple left hanging, and then there was some on the ground that I rummaged through that were still good that the deer didn't eat or take a bite out of, and thought I would try to make pear chips because I've done, different things with pears, and with that huge pear tree, I'm trying to find different ways to preserve pears so, we can have them throughout the winter. And so I have 2 jars of pear chips, and if you want to see how to do it, we're going to get started right now. So I have my bowl of pears here. These are all organic from our tree out back. The pears are pretty much all off the tree. I found these on the ground that the deer didn't get to yet because I really wanted to try pear chips. So I found, I don't know, might be a dozen or so, a little more, a little less. But I'm going to use this mandolin here, and we're going to slice them up and put them in the dehydrator. So I am following the Ultimate Dehydrator Cookbook Guide again. So if you're interested in this book, I got it at Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And we're going to follow the instructions. And it says, prepare pears according to how you think you might be using them. Pear chips are great for snacking on as is and used as a garnish. Use rehydrated sliced pears in pies, cakes, and salads. Chopped pears work great in muffins and gelatin. And then you can also use shredded pears when making quick breads. So we'll be dehydrating these at 125 degrees Fahrenheit. And preparation is to have a spray bottle of lemon juice or ascorbic acid solution on hand. My dehydrator is right next to me, so as I'm slicing them up, when I get one done, I'm going to put it on the tray right away, and we're going to go ahead and get that started. So for pear chips, we want to slice them at 1/8 of an inch thick discs. And it also says without peeling or coring. So I'm not going to do the lemon juice, but we are going to get these sliced. I'm going to turn my dial. Whoop. And we'll get one sliced and see how it looks. Okay, so I went ahead and did the first one not on camera, and these are kind of what they look like. See how thin they are? They chopped up pretty good. And then the seeds just kind of fell out, so we'll just, make sure that those aren't in the dehydrator. And these sliced up very good. Nice and thin, but not too thin. So I'll do another one. Whoa, jeez, what am I doing? right. So that's kind of how we need them sliced. Let me move this a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and arrange these on the tray, single layer. And if we like these pear chips, I will definitely do this again next year when we have more pears. I did a pear butter this year. I'll leave a link or a card up in the corner. Vanilla bourbon pear butter. The year before I made vanilla bourbon pears. So I've been trying to use our pears. And there we go. I've got, whoop. That one's not, all right. So I got one full tray, and we'll put that in the dehydrator. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and start slicing these up, and I'll speed it along. Okay, I am going to put this tray in the dehydrator. I have 5 trays so far. I'm going to go ahead and slice up the rest of these and get them on trays, and I'll bring you back to my dehydrator ready to fire it up. Okay, so I have a partial tray here that I'm going to put in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 trays of sliced pears. So I'm going to go ahead and put my lid on. Let me double check the temperature. 125, 10 to 12 hours. But like I've said in the past, don't get hung up on time, because your dehydrator may not be as powerful as this one, or it may be even more powerful. Your humidity in your house, if it's raining at home, or if you have high humidity in your home, or it's dry. So don't get hung up. When we test them, I'll show you what to look for. And then, yeah, if they're not done, stick them back in and just kind of check on them every once in a while. So let me go ahead and get my temperature set. Let's see, where is it? All right, there's 125 right there. And my Excalibur does not have a timer, so it is 4:46. So we'll definitely be checking on these tomorrow. So here is the vanilla bourbon pear butter. I'll leave a card up so you can check that out. Man, this is so good. And then the other thing that I've done with pears is the vanilla bourbon pears. You put this in like a cobbler, and this is very good in a skillet. I found a recipe on Pinterest, and it works out perfectly. Great dessert. All right, we're going to go ahead and let them go, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so it's been a little over 12 hours. I did shut it off earlier, and then I forgot to come back to it and realized that they still weren't done. It's been a very rainy day here today and high humidity. So I turned it back on, and I just shut it off a few minutes ago. So let's open the lid and take a look at the trays. So they're still a little bit warm. So we really don't want to test them yet because they're still kind of flimsy. So we're just going to let these cool down. We'll set one up top. We'll try different parts of the tray to test them out. All right, so we'll go ahead and let those cool down for a couple seconds here, and we'll test to see, do the crisp test and see if they're crispy or not. If they're not crispy, I'm going to have to put those back in and turn it back on, and then we'll come back later. But let's just see. It still feels a little, look at it, it's still pretty rubbery, you know. Doesn't seem very crisp yet. Yeah, pretty rubbery yet. So is this one too. It's not, it should be a crisp and break apart, and they're not breaking apart. All right, so it looks like these are going to need to go back in the dehydrator some more, and I'll bring you back and check them out in a little while and see if they're done. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since I started this project of dehydrating pear chips. So I've already turned my dehydrator off a little bit ago, probably about an hour ago, and we're going to take the lid off. And let's check them out. So we want to make sure that they crisp. Did you hear that snap? That's what we want to hear, and you just snap it. And that's how you know that they're dry. So if they didn't snap, probably would need more moisture. We've had a lot of rain, and so I would shut it off for a while, and they weren't done. I'd put it back in, and then finally last night, I let it run all night long again and most of the morning, and shut it off a little bit ago, and that's when they're finally done. So these are just chips. I mean, you can powder them up. I'm just going to put them in a jar and save them as a snack. And I'll take you over to the jar and show you how I'm going to store them up. So I'm just going to fold my mat up and just kind of funnel them in there. And if they stick to the mat, it's easier just to kind of make them come off the mat by pulling up the mat instead of trying to peel them off. Don't these look cool? They're not going to be as sweet as the apple chips, but I've already been taste testing them, and they're pretty good. And then you just want to shake it down so we can add more. Might need 2 jars because I think we had 5 trays. So I might have to go get another jar. That's all right. I have plenty of jars. Did another test real quick. Oop. We'll leave that one out. Add a couple more. Put a lid on it. And there's pear chips in a jar. All right, let me go get another jar. All right, went and got myself another jar, and we'll go ahead and put these in. Oh, I had 6 trays, not 5. Seven trays, excuse me. I'm just going to hand put these in because it's not going to fit otherwise. Unlike canning, it doesn't matter on the headspace. As long as you can close the lid, we're good. I'd have to open that other jar, see if I can fit a couple more in there, or just get myself a smaller pint jar, and then I can put that last jar in, or the last set of pear chips. Well, there ain't that many. I might be able to fit them in that other jar. I'm trying to make some room. Yeah, I think we'll be able to fit these in there. This last tray was only a partial tray. Wasn't a full. Yeah, I wanted to see how dried pear chips would be, because we have a pear tree in our backyard, and like I said before, I did vanilla bourbon pear butter, vanilla bourbon pears, and I'm trying to find some different ideas to preserve our pears, because we have this huge pear tree. It's an older pear tree, and yeah. So I can vacuum seal these with my vacuum sealer. So you just put this on. And for about 20 seconds, usually is all about it takes. All vacuum sealed. I'm holding it by the lid. And so that took all the oxygen out of there. You don't need an oxygen absorber. And this is ready to go on the pantry shelf. Do the other one. Whoop! Throwing my rings around. And we'll do this one too. All right, 20 seconds. And now that one's all sealed. So I have two dehydrated pear chip jars, all sealed, ready to go on the pantry shelf. So have you ever dehydrated pears before? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you do with pears, if you have a pear tree, or if you just buy pears, or if you don't preserve pears at all. I'm very interested in what everybody else does with pears, but I wanted to try this out because I did the apple chips, and I really loved the apple chips. I just did like 2 apples, you know, when I first started, and I ate them all. So I ended up getting another bunch of apples and made apple chips. I've done banana chips, and so there we go. Like I said, you can powder these up, you can rehydrate them. You can put these in oatmeal or eat them just like they are. So if you like this video, please smash that like button and share this video with anyone who might be interested in drying their own pear chips for snacks and long-term storage on your pantry shelf. I would probably use these within a year, which is fine because that's when the new set of pears will be coming anyway. And then we can dehydrate more pears and come up with more ways to preserve pears. Live, love, laugh, and garden. Hope to see you at the next video. Happy dehydrating. God bless. Bye.